a few weeks ago, we decided to do some New Year celebration, and I was, as some of you may know, I'm a bit of a fan of walking around. So sometime last year, I actually suggested to some of the volunteers to go for a hike, and we did go for a hike. The idea of a hike was like going on a pilgrimage. Yeah, people in the past, when they go and visit centers, monasteries, they go and look for masters, they will walk. Like Xuan Zheng Dashi traveled across from Northeast China to the Middle Asia and then down. Yeah, so it started off, the idea of walking around started off over here when I was staying in the Buddhist Library. At the point in time, it was maybe about 2009 to 2013. So there was a period of time where I was invited to conduct a group cultivation, yeah, for SIM students. In 2007, I started sharing with them. So by the time I moved over here and stayed from 2009 to 13, some of the pioneers of the Buddhist society in SIM has graduated. So a couple of them came to visit me, and they asked me whether I can do some weekly Dharma sharing with them, so that they can remain in touch with the Dharma. In particular, a good number of them were actually from Indonesia, so away from homeland. And after a while, they were like, is this all there is to life? You know, just finish your studies, then start working, and after that, just go back to your rental, and just do repeat and rinse and repeat every day. Yeah. So quite admirable, because they are all in their 20s, and it's not that their parents forced them to do this. They decided to have this on their own. Yeah. So on their request, I started something similar to what we have now. Yeah. What we have currently is like the 4th or 5th version of the group cultivation that I've been conducting in the past 10 years. Yeah. So I did this weekly with them. Initially, we call it Thursday Dharma. Then it shifted to Tuesday, and then Monday or something. Yeah. But for SIM, it was, I think, every let me see, was it Thursday or Monday? In any case, we have it at 7 p.m. 7 p.m. about 7:30 in the evening, weekday. Yeah. So, as you all know, my preamble is usually quite long. So, sit back, relax. You know, there's a long story. Yeah. So, how did this then lead to the hike? And what has it got to do with us being here today? Yeah. So there was one time, one of the students, he would come and fetch me to SIM every week. So then one day he asked to come earlier. He usually come about 6 plus, and then we will cut down. And cut down to where? Not SIM, but there's a temple over in the Midwest, Danan Road, yeah, Fumingsi. So he will come every week. At the point, probably on Thursday, then we'll go there. So one day, he decided to come earlier. He came at about 3 plus 4. He said he wanted to have a chat with me. So I said, okay. We sat down, we had a chat. And then, wait, are you recording?
Yes.
And then he was sharing with me about how things are. And then suddenly he told me that he thinks he's having depression. I was like,
in my mind I was like, you don't look like you're having depression. You look like okay. But of course people will say that, people with depression, you can't really tell. So anyway, we talk a bit more. So I, try to understand why he's depressed or anything. And then something popped to my mind. I was like, okay, come. We still have time. Let's walk. Let's walk to Pumingsi. And he's like, huh, Shifu, not enough time. It was about 3+4. Yeah, he came quite early. So the class is at 7+. But I said, oh, enough time. And he was really panicking because he thought it's going to take like half a day or something. Because he said that the last time he walked from Changi to East Coast, it took the whole night. So I said, no, it shouldn't take so long. In the end, maybe out of respect or something, he just tagged along. So we walked down. The first time round, we would just bash our way through, follow the phone and then try to figure our way out. It took about 3 over hours, but we survived. We reached Pumingsi. Yeah, and along the way, we chat a bit, but mostly just quietly walking, because we have a journey to cover. So we walk all the way there. At that point in time, I was wearing my Myanmarese Theravadan robes. So if around that time period you see some monk walking, that's probably me. So it turned out that was not the only walk, because every week he will come and then we'll go for a walk in the end. So I think every Thursday, 4 p.m., we'll start walking. Then at some point we'll stop at Revenue House. There was another common friend we met. We will meet for a break, have some fruit juice, and then we continue walking. And we did this weekly for about 8 months. Yeah. Yeah. So since then I've not been walking. Yeah. So last year I shared with, was it this year? This year, earlier this year. Last year. Oh yeah, it's 218 already. Yeah, last year, yes. So last year, last year we did so much things. Yeah. So last year, decided to get some of them to go for a walk. And the idea is, having long walks it can be quite therapeutic. But most people have this idea that, go for a hike or walk, then they think about going Ubin, they think about going to some forest place. I'm of the opinion that if you can do something in the forest, you should be able to do it in the city. Okay, there are some things you can't, like climb trees, climb the mountain. Singapore has no mountain. But other than that, why do we always have to travel overseas to do things, including retreats? And that's why the retreats we have is called urban retreat. Yeah, urban retreat started off here as well. Yeah, and I coined in this term urban retreat because of the notion that if you want to go for a retreat, you must go overseas. Go to some ulu kampong and then you can meditate. Yeah, but I've been trying to challenge this notion. Yeah, to get people to know that if you want to practice, where you are is where you have to practice. You cannot wait until you are free, when you are retired, when it's 2018, it's 2018 already. You cannot wait for next year. Next year is always next year. Yeah, only this year, only this month, only today, only now. That's the only time you have. So I managed to get a bunch of them to go for a hike. Yeah, in Singapore. We started off in Marina. We started Henderson Wave. You know Henderson Wave, Alexandra area. And then our route was to hike to Marina Bay Sands. No, not Marina Bay Sands. Gardens by the Bay. Yeah. And then from Gardens by the Bay, hike to East Coast. Yeah. And then go to one of the campsite and then camp overnight. And then next morning, watch sunrise and then have a puja there. It was supposed to be a recce. Supposed to be about 3 hours. It became about 5 over hours. We started off at about 7 plus, supposed to reach campsite at 9 plus 10, yeah, supposed. We had planned it to be that way, yeah. And supposed to like set up tent, pitch tent, and then they have a light supper and rest by 10 plus, at most 11, you know. And then the next day, wake up fresh. In the end, by the time we reached the campsite, it was 12 plus. And then in the dark, you know, usually you pitch tent in a day. So even I never tried pitching tent at night. And then we were struggling with multiple torchlight. And then there was wind, and we were trying to hold it down. And yeah, so it took longer than we expected. It became, what time did they finish?
2 or 3.
Huh? 4 a.m.? Oh, they slept at 4 a.m. I slept earlier. At some point, I'm really concussed with it. You go and, I don't know what you want to do. Yeah. Yeah. I think I slept at about 2 plus 3. But it was very dark, so nobody saw me. Now, this may seem strange for a monk to be doing that. But when you think about it, in a Buddha's time, that's all that monks ever do. Every 3-4 days, they will pack up, and they didn't even have a proper tent, you know. Yeah, they will just sleep by the tree, you know, wherever they are. So we challenged a lot of things, and we got challenged by a lot of things. Yeah, in a way, the hike is like a microcosm of our life. We can plan our journey, we can plan our destination, yeah. But sometimes the destination seems always somewhere else, you know. Yeah, we walk, then we're like, are you sure that's like 10 km? It's like, how could it seem like much longer than that? And that's the thing about life. Sometimes you can plan all you want, but it doesn't always turn out the way you anticipate it to be. Yeah. We survived the hike. Yeah. We survived 2017. Well done, congratulations. No prize for surviving it. Yeah. Yeah. These days, we expect a prize for everything. Yeah. Primary school kids. Just for getting 60 marks, they'll get a prize. Why? Because if in the previous term, they get 50, and now they get 60, it's a 10% increase. So they get a what is that? Improvement award. So I told my niece and nephew, are they here today? Only one nephew here today. I told my niece, I said, you know, in Shifu's time, those who go on stage, there's only one time in the whole year people go on stage, it's awards day. And those who come for awards days are those like super top, you know. I said, last time Shifu, third in my level, primary school, third in my level for maths. You don't get anything, no? Only first you get a commendation. Only first. Otherwise, like, what do you get? Why do you need anything? Yeah, but these days, it's quite different. Yeah. These days, the default is just turning up. You you expect to get a dog gift. No dog gift today. Yeah. But the whole idea, yeah, about life, our expectations. But life don't care about our expectations. Yes, there are things we can change to, you know, like we can give each other awards. Yeah. But life as it is by itself, it doesn't care about what we think, in a way. Because reality is reality. Yeah. It will be the way it is. We can expect, we can have our own assumptions about life, but reality and life has a very interesting way of getting its way. Yeah. The transientness of all things. Yeah. The impermanence, the uncertainty of change. I once read about this, Ajahn Chah. We usually think of anicca as just impermanence, yeah, which is not wrong. But he highlighted something. He said, anicca is not just impermanence. He says there's something else about this impermanence, this change, and it is that it is uncertain. It got me thinking for many years. And then through the teachings of emptiness of the Heart Sutra, then the whole thing gelled together. And you think about it, Ajahn Chah is from Theravadan tradition, and then the teaching of emptiness is from the Mahayana tradition. But it's so beautiful how the two gel together and point towards reality. That because all things depend on conditions, and when conditions change, then the outcome would change. And that change is not determined by you or me alone, but not totally divorced from our involvement as well. So while we can and should put in our effort to do what we can to ensure or to help to make things happen in a certain way, in a wholesome way, in a way that benefit ourselves and others, both in the short term and in the long term. But we should keep in mind that ultimately the result depends on more conditions than ourselves. So 2017, we finished that walk, and here we are. But towards the end of the year, I was, in fact, after that walk, that was supposed to be like a recce walk, supposed to do an actual in December. But after the walk, everybody was so pingsan. I was so pingsan. I think I must have hurt my knee and my hip and my toe. Yeah, it was really jialat. Yeah, and I was for that period I was like, cannot be, I walked for 8 months, and it was 3-hour trip every week, And then one of them said, Shifu, that was how many years ago? Yeah, but I still think it's because in those days I was just wearing the Theravadan robes and a small little bag without carrying anything much. And then I was wearing slippers, very comfortable slippers. Yeah. Whereas the Lohan xie, the monk shoe that I was wearing, is kind of oversized. So half the time I was using my toe to hold it in place. Half the time it was slipping off. Yeah. So, and then I was carrying my sleeping bag and then this and that. And so we're going to try again. Don't know when. Yeah, but we were supposed to try it this morning actually. We applied for police permit because we were thinking of getting a bigger group. And then this time around when they asked me, so Shifu, where are we going to walk? And I said, maybe we'll start in Gardens by the Bay. Let's not go all the way from Henderson Way. So we were supposed to meet at about 6+ at Gardens by the Bay, watch the sunrise, do a short puja, then do a mini urban pilgrimage, walk all the way here. Yeah, but why here? Why here? Because the Buddhist Library, Bhante himself, has been very supportive for the past how many years? Yeah. And as much as he's Sri Lankan monk ordained in the Theravadan tradition, he's 79 last year. This year, once his birthday passed, he'll be 80. He first came to Singapore in 1971 over at Sri Lanka Ramaya. And then some years later, he came out, and then through the request of some devotees, he started the precursor to the Buddhist Library. Buddhist Library moved from I think at some point was at like Marine Parade side, then to Katong, then to another part of Geylang, and then to here. Yeah, it has moved and grow with Buddhism throughout in Singapore over the past how many decades. The one thing about the Buddhist Library is very unique. Today you go to many temples, you see some form of a library inside the temple. But Bhante's idea is, no, we should not have such a temple. Yeah. Buddhist centers should focus on the Dharma, not on the culture and rituals and chanting and what. So instead of having a library in a temple, we have a temple in a library. So when you enter in the first floor, Most of you came up by the staircase. Later, when we have time, we'll explore the library. Yeah. It's on the ground floor on the other side. Yeah. When you come in, you see the counter. If you go straight, which is downstairs, is the art gallery. Yeah. There you will see tankas. You'll see the Buddha's footprint. So over here is very interesting. We have a mixture of Theravada, Tibetan, Mahayana. Bhante is so open. In some areas, I feel that he's even more open than me. More forward-thinking and more open than me. Yeah. So I had the privilege of staying here from 2009 to 13 and learned a lot from his own example. Yeah. How he's able to look at different groups, different traditions, and see some value in each tradition. Yeah. Not just privately, but openly highlight those qualities, those strengths and areas that we can learn from. Yeah. And it's through his support that SGC is also able to have programs over here. Last year, 1st Jan, we had the Sangha offering here as well. And across the year, on occasion, Buddhist Union, the main center, they would have programs. So we would sometimes be outdoors, and then other times we would actually come here. And Bhante just received us with open arms. Yeah. He told me earlier last year, 2017, or in fact late 2016, he told me, anytime you want to have classes here, just let, what's his name? Kok Leong? No. Kuntek, yes, Kuntek. Just inform one of the staff, and then he will go and make arrangements. Yeah, and in fact, he even teased me and say, Venerable, you can have classes every day. Have class every day, whole year. So, okay. Yeah. So currently, I actually have 2 classes over here, Wednesday and Thursday. Wednesday is 大乘白法明门论. It's a Chinese Mahayana, no, not Chinese, but it's Mahayana commentary. Unthinkable for many people. Yeah. And then Thursday is a Tibetan commentary, 入菩萨行论, Buddhi Charyavatara Sastra. So, and even before I finished this, recently during the anniversary lunch and then during the robe offering, he again asked me, so, Venerable, when are you going to do the Autamsaka Sutra? Which is another Mahayana Sutra, but that's really massive. Yeah. So here we are today. Yeah. So the plan was to hike all the way here, then invite Bhante to do a blessing and then offering. And we're supposed to then finish and hike all the way to Eunos, to the main BU center. Yeah. To do offering to the center and pay respects to the Venerable Bao Shi and Venerable Bao Tong. Yeah, they have been very supportive also. For the past year, since 2006, late 2006, we've been having programs there on a weekly basis. And also we have the Heart Sutra and the meditation class conducted there, and also the urban retreat. Yeah. So the program today is really an expression of gratitude. To start the year off on a wholesome, with a wholesome intent, to show our gratitude to the 2 centers. But we are only blessed enough to come here because the main center in BU in Kemangan, they are closed for holiday. The 2 nuns are probably thinking, you're so free, we are not free. Well, we need to rest. The volunteers also need to rest. Yeah, because I think they also have their own programs. In fact, Bhante, they had Medichan yesterday, last night, until 12-ish. Yeah, so that's why I'm really very appreciative of Bhante. Yeah, his kindness, his openness. Yeah. I mean, yesterday night, 12 plus, early morning, you want to come. Yeah. I told him, I told him just now, like, so sorry you come here this time. I said, no, it's a good thing. Yeah, it's wonderful. So last year we had Sangha offering, and then we prepared the offering package. Yeah, but this year we just keep it simple. You all just drown Bante with your offering, okay? Yeah. Then bow as many times as you want. Don't limit to 3 times. Then Bante sitting down there wondering what's wrong with you guys. Yeah. So I hope that this will mark a good start for everyone, a good beginning for 2018, and may this may this continue for all of us, a new year of Dhamma sharing, Dhamma learning, and progress on the path. And may all of you be blessed with good health and happiness. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. So, how are we ready? So if we are, then let me see. What shall we do? Let me go and invite Bante. Then once you see the door open, then you all jump up.
Do we need to prepare another table for?
Oh yeah, probably, yeah. See you, yeah. Yes.